Hello, my name is Kayla Akers. I am 22 years old. I'm in my last semester at Oakland University, and I'm here to tell you my story. When I was younger, I had a knack for the dramatics. I was always in skits at my church, I tried out for plays at school, and I had dreams of becoming an actress. My life has been pretty difficult at times. Kids are mean. I used to get bullied because I was overweight. I got called ugly, that my clothes weren't nice, because sometimes I would have to wear the same outfit because my parents didn't have a lot of money. I even got made fun of once because I dyed my hair. Those kids probably don't remember me, but they're an important part of my story nonetheless. When I was in the 9th grade, I got diagnosed with anxiety. It got so bad I would force myself to throw up, but I would be sick and I didn't have to go to school. I hated being there because all the kids used to make fun of me. Someone I thought was my best friend joined them and passed it off as constructive criticism. Because she was my best friend, I accepted it. But looking back in it now, that was a mentally and verbally toxic relationship. My anxiety got so bad and I missed so much school that my parents decided to pull me out of public school and start to homeschool me. They found an online public school that would let me learn at my own pace while still learning all the things that I needed to learn to graduate. And I graduated from that public school with honors. After graduation, I started applying to colleges. Because of my flair for the dramatics and lack of what I would say book smarts, I decided that I was going to major in theater. Because I said acting was the only thing that I could do, so that was what I was going to do. I applied and I got accepted to Oakland University, where I started to live on campus, and I met my roommate, Kyla. Remember that name, because she's going to be important later. In order to enter the theater program at Oakland, you're required to audition. Because I got pulled out of public school and I'd only been in skits at church, I had little to no formal training on acting or how to audition. I was extremely nervous, and it showed. I got a letter a few weeks later stating that I didn't get in. I was devastated. I worked so hard only to crash. But I was determined to try again. After regaining my morale, I decided to audition again at the end of my freshman year. After taking a few theater classes at Oakland, I used the techniques that I learned in those classes to prepare myself and make myself less nervous. I walked into that audition room with more confidence than the first time, but apparently it still wasn't good enough, and I got rejected again. After thinking it over, I decided to try one more time. This is all I've ever wanted, right? 3rd time's a charm? If you want something so badly, shouldn't it work out for you? So I put everything into my audition. I gave it my all. I worked with one of the theater professors and he gave me tips on what to do, what not to do, how to get better. I worked all year on my monologues, memorizing the lines, feeling the emotions. I believed I had this in the bag. I was ready. I walked into that audition room with more confidence than ever before. Surely they couldn't turn me down this time, right? After all the work that I put in, how much I practiced, how badly I wanted this, they couldn't turn me down this time, right? But it still wasn't good enough. I had gotten rejected 3 times. Nothing I ever did was good enough for them. I felt so lost, so lonely, so defeated. I got diagnosed with depression right after that. That was the worst time of my life. I considered dropping out of college. I resigned myself to thinking that I would never amount to anything and that life wasn't worth living. I don't like to talk about my depression. Outside of my family, nobody knows. But I'm saying it now because it's an important part of my story, no matter how hard it is to talk about. My roommate and best friend, Kyla, helped me a lot through my depression. She didn't treat me like I had a disease. She treated me like a person. She listened to me when I wanted to talk. She stayed and comforted me when I didn't. She doesn't know, but she helped save my life, and I'm eternally grateful to her. Kyla, for the past year, had gone to an extracurricular group called the Filmmakers Guild. She said that there were acting opportunities and that the people there were nice, and convinced me to try and get myself out there. I decided to go. I had never been on a film set before. I acted in a few things here and there because that was the only thing that I knew how to do. But after seeing how much time and energy and all the different jobs there were to make a short film, I was intrigued. I wanted to help this group in other ways other than just acting. So, from slight nudging from the other members, I slowly eased my way into filmmaking. I started off with slate, which was easy enough, and I slowly moved my way to sound, which was a bit more difficult. And eventually I pushed myself into camera, which was anxiety-inducing enough, but I basically just pressed the record button while somebody else set up the shots. The people there seemed pretty cool, and they all loved what they did. And since cinema was the closest I could get to acting, I decided to see if maybe I could major in cinema too. Little did I know how much that one decision would affect my entire life. I took my first filmmaking class my junior year. I had no idea there were so many different levels and aspects to filmmaking. I had no idea the time and energy that it took. My first class was with Professor Andrea Ice. Our first project was about continuity. I had to film somebody walking into frame, sitting down, standing up, and walking out of frame while leaving something behind. I had no idea what I was doing. I was a completely blank slate. I had 2 other people in my group, and they basically did all the work because I was really shy and I did not want to mess anything up. We edited our projects and we showed them to the class. Everyone had done something with editing before, so they added something funny or interesting to theirs, like music or sound effects. I, on the other hand, had never edited anything before in my life. So I was a bit embarrassed to show my film to the class because of how simplistic and rough it was. Ice was very lenient toward my grade because it was the first cinematic thing that I had ever done. I was determined to do something better for the next project. The next project, we had to film somebody talking about something that meant a lot to them. And I knew exactly what I wanted to do for this project. Me and my roommate, Kyla, we're big nerds. We collect Funko Pops. So I decided to film a documentary about her and her collection and what it meant to her. I was actually really excited to start filming. I had no idea what I was doing, but I knew exactly how I wanted my film to look. I had different shots already planned in my mind. I wanted to prove to everybody that I could do this, that I was good at it. Forget the theater program and focus on this. So I filmed for hours. I had no idea it would take that long, and I was fairly ignorant with the camera, so I probably did a little bit extra. But I finished it all the same. Editing was something I had never done before either, per my last project. I slaved for 9 hours straight editing this project. trying to figure out how to work Premiere and edit my film just the way that I wanted it. But I finally did it. I made my film, my first ever actual film, Funko Fanatic. After showing my film to the class, I got tons of compliments, liking my camera work and my editing style. Everyone was amazed because I had never done anything like this before. I got a 95 on that project. It was the proudest moment of my entire life. That is the moment where it clicked, when I realized what I wanted to be. In that class, I went on to create other films. I made one about anxiety and another one about the death of a loved one. After my first semester and all the things that I had accomplished, I finally found it. The thing that made me happy, the thing that I enjoyed and that I was good at. I found what I was meant to be, a filmmaker. Since deciding to become a filmmaker, I've made a bunch of different films, like a non-dialogue one about a girl and her ukulele, an artist painting with her emotions, and one about realizing you love someone once it's too late, which is personally my favorite. This hasn't come without struggles. I've had difficult classes and sexist classmates who didn't think that I could make films because I'm a female. But I proved them wrong, and I made something of myself. Sometimes, life likes to take you down a dark and twisted road before you get to where you need to be. Sometimes it's hopeless and you don't think you can ever see the light. But you do. You are where you are right now because you need to be there. There's a lesson to be learned in every part of life. Without being bullied and being diagnosed with anxiety and depression, I wouldn't be who I am today. Without being rejected from the theater program, I wouldn't be graduating in April in a major that I wouldn't have even considered, let alone fallen in love with. I wouldn't be taking part in different internships and starting my own film and photography company. I've come down a long and bumpy road, but I'm grateful for every second of it because it's made me who I am today, a filmmaker.
Tonight, keep alive.